Good day, Dr. Madakel, Dr. Lin Siokan, and respected colleagues. It is my honor to present Topic 11, Employee Engagement, Well-Being, and Organizational Resilience as part of our postdoctoral course in Strategic Management and Leadership. As an educator with over 23 years of experience in comprehensive continuation and alternative school settings, and as a school based leaders in California, this topic is deeply personal to me. And through this presentation, I aim to analyze engagement models and physiological safety frameworks, evaluate workplace well being strategies in high performing organizations, and for obvious reasons, I chose my own school as an example. And last, design resilience building initiative for workforce sustainability. So let us begin by understanding why this topic matters now more than ever. So burnout remains significantly elevated in K 12 systems, particularly in high demand environments. So in continuation school like La Vista, educators constantly navigate emotional labor, initiative overload, and exposure to student trauma. So through my own experience, I have learned something important. Engagement, well-being, and resilience are connected, but they are not interchangeable. If we treat them as the same concept, we're resolving the wrong problem. So this leads us to the core issue many organizations face today. So many school districts attempt to improve engagement by simply adding more activities. More survey, more professional development, more appreciation events. And however, research reminds us that engagement initiatives alone cannot solve burnout if the structural causes remain. So my thesis for today is in high demand schools, engagement is often the symptoms. Job resources and physiological safety are the levers and resilience become the outcome. So to understand these relationships more clearly, we turn to an important theoretical framework, and that is the JDR model. So, the job demand resources model provides a powerful lens for understanding workplace sustainability. So, it explains two pathways. One, the health impairment pathway, where excessive demands lead to stress and eventually burnout. And the motivational pathway, where strong resources lead to engagement and professional efficacy. So in K to 12 education, demands such as emotional labor, role conflict, and initiative overload are often unavoidable. So, but what leadership can control is how these demands are supported with resources. So, in my leadership experience, I have learned that sustainability is not about eliminating demands. Rather, it is about balancing them wisely. And this leads us to the next important question. What exactly are job resources? So, job resources include supportive administration, autonomy in instruction, clear communication, coaching and feedback, belonging and recognition, protected planning time, and the research shows that expanding resources is often more effective than simply reducing demands. So at La Vista, protected planning time and strong collaborative PLC structures are not conveniences. So they are protective mechanism that sustain educators. And another critical resource that shapes workplace sustainability is the psychological safety. So, psychological safety allows people to speak up, learn from mistakes, innovate, and then adapt under pressure. So, research consistently shows that environment with high physiological safety experience, lower burnout, and a stronger organizational climate. So, in my experience as a teacher leader, something simple but powerful happens when teacher feels safe to say, I need support. So when that moment become possible, engagements begins to grow naturally. So psychological safety is not softness, it is a structural strength. But to fully understand engagement, we must clarify what it truly means. So this slide shows the employee engagement, what it is and what it is not. So employee engagement is an emotional commitment to organizational goals. However, engagement without structural reform can be fragile. So I like to think it this way. Engagement is energy, well-being is capacity, resilience is sustained adaptability. So if capacity is depleted, energy alone cannot sustain performance. So what actually drives engagement in healthy systems? So let us explore that. So the key drivers of engagement are several factors. One is the effective leadership, work-life balance, opportunities for career growth, meaningful work, recognition and rewards, and then a positive work environment. So, in my experience as a teacher, leader, and STEAM coordinator, I have seen how meaningful work, such as student exhibition and project based learning, ignites intrinsic motivation. So, engagement flourishes where purpose is clear. So, and when engagement becomes visible, its benefits extend throughout the organization. So, what is the benefits of engagement? So, engaged employees are motivated. Um, they are productive and committed. So the image of our STEAM exhibit, I posted it right here because it reminds me that engagement becomes visible when teachers feel empowered to innovate and create meaningful learning experiences. And I'm so grateful when I moved to La Vista High School, like our teacher, like principal, Mrs. Layana, she's very supportive and she trusts us. And that's why I was able to start working and developing the STEAM program in our school. It started with a science fair, and then I invited my colleague, Dr. Rabanera, and then the following year we have the science and math, and then followed by science. Technology, engineering, arts, and math because I was able to invite my colleague who teach arts, and after that every year it continued, and I was able to invite also my colleagues from adult transition program or the other school, the La Sierra High School. So this experience really helped me to be more engaged in my school because I get the support that I need, and I feel safe. um, so, however, we must always remember that productivity without sustainability eventually leads to attrition. And this is why measurement becomes critical. So, that is very, very important. So, here, so preventing initiative theater. So, many organizations unintentionally fall into what researchers call initiative theater. So, the appearance of improvement without real systemic change. And the key is measuring the right indicators. So, what are those indicators? So, the leading indicators can include the physiological safety, the workload perceptions, and then the access to support. The lagging indicators include the absence rates, turnover intention, burnout levels. And if we measure the business instead of sustainability, we risk rewarding exhaustion. So, as a strategic human resource thinker, I believe measurement is governance. So now, for the workplace well-being architecture, so I look for one example of framework, and then I found the US Surgeon General framework that identifies five essentials for workplace well-being. One is the protection from harm. Second is the connection and community. Third is the work-life harmony. Fourth, mattering at work, and then fifth, opportunity for growth. And these are not corporate perks, they are resilient organizational infrastructure. So, in my school, a continuation high school, mental health supports and predictable routines become protective systems, not optional programs. So, another framework also that I would like to emphasize in this presentation is the importance of managing risk in the workplace. So the ISO 45003 provides international guidance on protecting psychological health and safety in the workplace. So it can encourages organization to identify risks, assess them, and mitigate them, and continuously improve system. So when workload load harms well-being, so the issue is not individual weaknesses or individual weakness, it is a system design issue. And this principle aligns strongly with my dissertation that I work in and the trauma informed leadership. So now let us move to the concept of resilience itself. So let's define the organizational resilience correctly. Resilience is often misunderstood as individual toughness, but organizational resilience is a collective capability. It is the ability of team to adapt, support each other, and recover together. So it is like in my years, La Vista and La Sierra, resilience has never been about pushing harder. It has always been about standing together. So how do we intentionally design resilience? And this will show in my next slide, designing a resilience building strategy. So this brings to us to the resilience building strategy framework that you will see in my screen right now. And the framework unfolds in four phases. Phase one is the diagnose, where you measure engagement, burnout, and physiological safety. Then phase two, quick wins. Protect planning time, improve meeting efficiency, and clarify communication structures. Phase 3 is the capability building. It develops leadership skills and physiological safety and align demands with resource through the JD or role mapping. And then the last phase, sustain and evaluate. Monitor leading indicators such as safety and workload perceptions while tracking lagging indicators like turnover and absenteeism. And the core principle is simply but powerful. Measure sustainability, not business. Okay, so the next slide shows that these are my colleagues and now this is my school. Like I'm proud to be part of my La Vista La Sierra family. So we are, I chose it because I believe that we have that in our organization and we see this framework already in action. So based on our 2022 WAS report, the school demonstrate. So here, the school demonstrate um, structural job resources, mental health infrastructure. So we do restorative practices, not just for teachers and students, but like everyone on campus. Professional learning investment. So we have the school base and then we have the district base and the county. So at La Vista engagement is system embedded. Well-being is operationalized, resilience is designed, and this is not just a pure theory. It is a lived practice. So, for my leadership reflection, through my experience in comprehensive and continuation schools, I have learned something profound. Um, when communication is clear, when administrators are supportive, when the teacher's voice is protected, when routines are predictable, engagement rises, burnout softens, resilience strengthens. Um, and these are not soft practices, they are strategic human resource architecture. So, I would like to leave us with two questions that I'm going to post the link on our group chat. How do our daily leadership action shapes physiological safety in our organizations? And how do we balance accountability with compassion in a high demand environments? And as leaders, our responsibility is not simply to motivate people, it is to design systems where people can sustainably thrive. So allow me to close with this reflection and actually like I created like a music, like a song for human resource um, human resource, employee engagement, well-being, and organizational resilience. And I hope you like it, guys. And allow me to tell that employee engagement give us heart, well-being gives us strength, resilience help us endure, and when we care for our people with intention, we do more than retain educators. We build a school that can truly last.
Behind every mission statement, behind every plan we write, there are people carrying hope, trying to do what's right. Through challenges and pressures, through moments we can't see, human resource leaders help people still believe. Because great organizations are not built by goals alone. They are built by leaders who help their people grow. Engagement lights the spirit, well-being gives us strength, resilience keeps us rising through every road and length. When leaders build with purpose and people feel they belong, human resource leadership makes organizations strong. When voices can be spoken, when trust can lead the way, when growth and care are balanced, people choose to stay. When work becomes meaningful, when dignity is clear, organizations flourish because people matter here. Not pressure but protection, not noise but thoughtful care, not standing alone in hardship but knowing someone's there. When resources meet the challenges and leaders guide the way, resilience grows in workplace where people choose to stay. Engagement fuels the mission, well-being lights the flame, resilience keeps us moving toward a future we can claim. When leaders care for people with wisdom and with grace, human resource leadership transforms the workplace. Because the strongest organizations are not built by strategy alone. They are built where people matter most.
So, once again, I would like to reiterate that the strongest organizations are not built by strategy alone. They are built where people know they matter. Thank you very much for listening, and then I hope that you learned something from this topic. And these are my references. Thank you and mabuhay, everyone.